Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Terrifying Tuesday, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Welcome to Derry teaser trailer. So let's jump right into it. So we've got to talk about this trailer to Welcome to Derry. It is a teaser trailer, so of course it tries not to reveal a whole lot, but what it does reveal is pretty exciting because we get to see a man looking up at a tree and this balloon, a famous red balloon, and we all know what that means. It's Pennywise time. Well, then we get this voiceover that says, "This isn't America, this is Derry." Okay, well, then we have a bunch of little clips after that. Just a bunch of little clips. There's a kid staring out a window looking awfully creepy. Like maybe he ain't your regular kid. He might be possessed by Pennywise himself. I don't think that he is actually Pennywise himself, but maybe something that someone fears happens to do with this kid. And that is important because Pennywise feeds off the fears of others, and that's what's going to make this series weird. We also get a look at our heroes who, just like the Losers Club, ride around on their bicycles, and they're going to be the ones that apparently have to try to stop him. Now, we know a little bit about Welcome to Derry. We do know a little bit about this plot, and the plot kind of goes along the lines of what you would expect. A group of kids is going to have to get together to stop a great evil. We know that the series will take place in the 1960s, leading up to the events of it. And we know that Bill Skarsgård will be reprising his role as Pennywise the Clown. Other cast members include Taylor Page, Jonathan Adepo, Chris Chalk, and James Remar. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of those names as always, but here's the thing. This show looks insane because not only are we getting a look at what happened before the Losers Club was even a thing, but we are going to be following this group of people that could in fact shine some light on some other events. And what exactly do I mean? We do know a couple things about the Pennywise character from the book itself. And if you know, then you know. He definitely feeds upon the fear of these children because children are pure. Children have the best fear. And that's always been kind of the scariest element of this entire franchise, is that he feeds off the fears of children. Well, the thing of that is this. Pennywise has a long history of terrorizing Derry. He has been terrorizing Derry for years. And while this seems like this will give us a little bit of that origin, I don't think that this covers Pennywise's origins or anything, but it could actually showcase, since it's a TV series, some of the events from the past. The number one event that I know a lot of people want to see is Mr. Halloran. Mr. Halloran actually appears in the novel It. He was a cook in the military, in the army, who saved Mike Hanlon's father, Will, from a deadly fire at the Black Spot Club in 1930 when Halloran was 19. Now, why would they show this if the series takes place in the 60s? Well, there's a couple reasons that I think that this is possible. The number one reason that I think that this is possible is that this is not the first time that people have pondered what would it look like to see Halloran's story. And that is coming from prior to the release of Dr. Sleep. Warner Brothers had enough confidence in the film that they hired Mike Flanagan to script a prequel focusing on the character with the working title Halloran. Following the disappointing box office of Dr. Sleep, however, the future of the project is still unclear. But I want to raise a point here. The Dr. Sleep movie isn't terrible. It isn't nowhere near as good as the classic that is The Shining. And that depends on which Shining you're talking about. You see, the Dr. Sleep movie follows along the same lines as the Kubrick version of The Shining. A version that, well, Stephen King himself has sort of a love-hate relationship with, and who can blame him? It wasn't exactly what his project was ever meant to be. And then you have the book of Doctor Sleep, which I strongly encourage you to read. That is much closer to the Stephen King book than it is to anything else. Now, what makes this important is that the TV series, Welcome to Derry, will follow along the lines of the latest movie that had come out, which was sort of a more true, not completely true, but more true version to the actual book. So we get to see several things happen within this series, possibly, that would be direct references or maybe even flashbacks to events that are flashbacks in the actual Stephen King novel. And that is pretty cool. Now, this trailer also showcases a lot of people screaming, some people covered in blood, and we get to see a lot of really cool little sequences just flash before our eyes. We also see a theater, which I think looks pretty cool. These kids should be fun to watch if they can capture that Stephen King way of writing. Stephen King has a very distinct way of writing, and love it or hate it, the children in his novels are rather intriguing because they all have very odd personalities, and they all kind of stand up to their bullies, stand up to the monsters, and fight things off. And this is something that occurs during all of his books. All of his little childhood friends appear in different ways throughout his novels. And if they sort of capture that magic with this TV series and kind of give us something that's intriguing that doesn't exactly copy Stranger Things, because that is everyone's fear, that it's just going to rinse and repeat and copy Stranger Things, which I don't foresee it actually doing. This is set in the Stephen King universe, so you have Stephen King as an advisor, hopefully, right? And then you also have people that are writing it that are fans of Stephen King. So I think this series could prove to be a lot of fun. This series looks a lot of fun, and it has had a few hiccups along the way. The series, as you know, has been delayed a few times. It has had production stop. It was one of those projects that for a while we weren't really sure was going to see the light of day. This has become sadly the norm since the actor strike, that we don't know if some of these projects go forward or they don't, because delays have really caused quite the stir, and we're still not even seeing all of the implications that this had on Hollywood, all of the tragedies of movies that we'll never get to see because actors have had to move on from them or writers have had to move on from them. But this is coming out. This is scheduled to come out next year, and with it scheduled to come out next year, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that this is going to actually be true to a Stephen King type of novel, and that kind of excites me. But that is where I am going to leave it off to you guys. I want to know what you guys think about this series. Does this trailer, if you've seen this teaser trailer, how did it make you feel? And based on what I've told you, if you haven't seen it, how does this teaser trailer make you feel? Do you think that we're going to see several flashbacks to several events along the way of Pennywise's origin? Or do you think that we're going to mainly focus on this group of kids throughout and that everything we're seeing is only directly involving them? If so, how do you think this works? And are you excited for whatever this series has to offer? Because that is the real question. As always, we definitely want to hear from you guys. Make sure to share this video with all of your friends. They're definitely going to want to be a part of this conversation as well. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's free. We appreciate it. And then Miko says we need more subscribers. Look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.